Hey everybody, Dwayne Blay here with NSDA. In this next video, we're gonna break down hockey player position and add some progression to it. When we're dealing with hockey players of any age, the one thing we're always gonna come back to is hockey player position. So most of the moves that we make, whether we're stick handling, shooting, passing, skating, we're gonna come back to that hockey player position. So our head up, our back straight, and our knees bent. And it's always gonna come back to this position. So for young kids, even for older kids, adding it to a drill or progressing through it. So number one thing is teaching them what it is and why they do it. If you had a bunch of kids on a line and you said, hey, show me hockey player position, most of them would stand like this, just automatic. But as we teach them, we wanna make sure that they understand their head's gotta be up. And head's gotta be up, looking around, their shoulders are square and leaning forward a little bit. So shoulders just over their knees, and then knees just over their toes. We don't wanna be too far up or too far forward. And in drills, even just a warm up, skating around the nets at the beginning, just even having players, once they get that hockey player position, they understand what it is, having them use it while they're moving. So when they're coming around, let's say they're coming around a net here, and then maybe in between the blue lines or from blue line to red line, they hold their hockey player position and then continue skating on, same thing. So coming around here, or on the whistle, coach blows the whistle, they gotta get in the hockey player position. Next whistle, they skate forward. I also think it's important to do it forward and backwards. So as you're coming around here, now maybe you have your players skating backwards, and same thing, hockey player position, right? On the whistle or between the blue lines, but just adding it in a drill. Sometimes if you're having players side stop, maybe get them into that hockey player position first, they have to glide and then stop and then take off. And a lot of times you can use lines on the ice, you can use cones, pucks, whatever you want, right? But simple things, you know, if you're working in stations or you're working, you know, in half the ice, you have a smaller area, but having players come in and maybe you're getting them to use these 3 cones. So coming in and, you know, gliding from cone 1 to cone 2, and then side stopping at cone 3 and backward skating, let's say. But again, hockey player position in here. So a player would skate in, glide in their hockey player position from cone number 2 to cone number 3, side stop, and then from here they gotta go backwards back. And then hockey player position from cone number 2 to cone number 1, and then they're back in their line. But little things like that, just getting them in that position is huge. And any chance you can add it in a drill, it's gonna be big, especially at younger ages, but even to refresh some of the older players, because we all have players that we work with that sometimes are way too far forward when they're skating, right? But just get them to correct a little bit. Now everyone's gonna have their own style and their own unique way that their body's gonna move and feel right. But the more we can get them efficient and get them back in that good hockey player position, the better they're gonna be at all their movements. So again, whether it's gliding, right? I'm in that hockey player position, whether it's shooting, right? Passing, we wanna be somewhat in that hockey player position in everything that we do. So that's a couple little ideas on how to progress that hockey player position. It seems like such a boring skill because you're basically just standing like this. But if you can add it into some drills or even into a warm up and just get in their, you know, players' mindset that, okay, I gotta get in this position when I'm skating. I gotta get in this position when I'm gliding or turning. That's gonna be huge.